Abbott Elementary's principal Ava is many things. Outlandish, vain, selfish, hilarious.
I can hear you, but you can't stop me.
Ava's narcissistic nature has caused many problems over the course of the show, for herself and others. Mostly others. But as time has gone on, we've also gotten to see how, when she uses her powers for good, this side of herself allows Ava to do great things and make the world around her a better place.
My words really have meaning, huh? I should be more reckless.
She may not always be the perfect principal, but she does actually have a great lesson to teach us.
Welcome back to the house that Ava built.
Ava is always focused on number one. And this, especially when we first meet her, comes across as extreme narcissism.
Principal Coleman, the gorgeous, I'm not reading the rest of this.
Her ideas around narcissism, as well as the word itself, come from the Greek myth of the beautiful Narcissus, who, instead of falling for any of the many people who tried to woo him, fell in love with his own reflection, and then became so distraught that he couldn't be with his reflection that he essentially wilted away. While it was originally connected to this idea of extreme vanity, the idea has over time expanded to include the level of selfishness and self-centeredness that often appears in tandem with that mindset.
Where'd you get this stuff? I put it on your list. For the kids. How does having a principal with muscle tension serve them?
Ava's personality is so grating to the teachers at Abbott because she always seems so willing to sacrifice the greater good for her own personal gain.
She pale like a zombie. You know they eat the hottest people first. Let me back my tasty ass up. Okay,
For example, when she manages to get a $3,000 check from the district for the school, but instead of spending it on things the teachers actually need, she has a giant custom sign made with her image on it. She also makes it clear that she's willing to sacrifice everyone literally to save herself. Well, almost everyone.
Gregory is the only person that can stay in my bunker, so stop asking.
She doesn't, at first, look at the school as a community of which she is a part, but instead as a resource for her to use to her own ends. She doesn't feel bound by rules or expectations.
Let me see these permission slips to the zoo, and they better be real, because I can tell if you faked a Herbie Hancock.
Oh, it's John Hancock.
Girl, I know. I just say whatever I want. We ain't learned that yet?
In the environment at Abbott, we can see that even once we're grown up, a lot of the social dynamics from our school years don't actually change all that much. And Ava is a classic queen bee through and through. She goes after what she wants, no matter how it affects others. She makes sure everything is framed around her, and she even picks on the nerds to keep the hierarchy in order. Ava is, perhaps unsurprisingly, obsessed with social media, keeping up with trends and going viral. This is, on the one hand, certainly a function of her own narcissism, but in this, we can also see how Ava's personality is actually a lot deeper than we might initially expect from all of those surface-level assessments. Social media certainly does bring her the attention that she craves, but it's also a great outlet for her creativity. She's not just posting bland little clips. She's scripting, directing, choreographing, lip-syncing, editing, and sometimes even creating the music.
Because of me, when people say that their favorite director is that Ava lady, somebody else gotta be like, which one?
And as we come to see, when Ava puts her mind to it, she's able to use those same skills to actually help other people achieve their goals too. While outright narcissism generally isn't a great thing, being unafraid to put yourself first is. And it's something that can be really difficult for a lot of people. Ava Coleman certainly does not have that problem. She's incredibly adept at understanding social dynamics and how to shift things in her favor. And over her lifetime of working her way around the obstacles of society, she's also gained some important wisdom.
The key to never getting your ass beat? Knowing when someone can beat your ass.
She's learned how important it is to be able to let go of things that don't serve you and your interests if you want to keep moving forward.
Now, you know I used to date Allen Iverson. He might have been the answer, but he was not the one.
Ava does not dream of labor, but instead uses her job and side hustles as a way to fund the life she actually wants to live.
There's no such thing as a happy career. To work is to lose in life.
Ava is infinitely resourceful. She had to learn how to go after what she wanted and make it work somehow, because she did not grow up in an environment where things were just handed to her. She learned how to use whatever she can, her looks, attitude, information, to get to the next step on her journey.
I go to the same church as the superintendent. Caught him cheating on his wife with the deaconess. I needed a job.
Because she usually uses her skills solely for her own benefit, others can underestimate how useful she can be in a larger cooperative environment as well. Take when the Abbott kids are trying, and unfortunately failing, to sell candy to make enough money to fund their field trip. Barbara, of course, wants them to be the ideal little sweetheart salespeople.
What we say is, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
But that doesn't work.
You couldn't sell a scarf to Lenny Kravitz with that pitch. Who taught you to sell like that?
Ava, on the other hand, teaches them how to hustle, and they quickly start raking in the dough and then some. Barbara hates Ava's tactics because she thinks they're immoral, and that she's essentially teaching the kids to steal. But Ava points out that she's just teaching the kids how to hustle so that they can make their own way in life, just like she had to learn how to do.
You didn't grow up having to make hard choices. I did. And what you call scamming got me by.
She knows that the world isn't going to hand these kids the things they want, no matter how much they deserve them. So she wants to make sure that they have the tools to get what they need.
I want to teach him to make extra money to pocket so he can take care of himself. Some of our students don't have it like that.
Ava always puts herself first, and you should too. As things begin cooling down and autumn arrives, it's the perfect time to reset and revamp your healthy habits so that you're ready for whatever life throws at you. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for clean eating, is here to make that so easy for you. Eating healthy doesn't have to mean spending all day in the kitchen. Green Chef's Heat and Eat meals allow you to have a delicious meal ready in just 3 minutes, and their meal kits provide the perfect balance between fresh and functional, allowing you to whip up a healthy, tasty meal in no time. Green Chef's recipes feature organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins, so you know you'll be eating well. They have over 80 dietitian-approved weekly meal options across so many types, from plant-based to gluten-free to protein-heavy and beyond. It's always easy to find meals that fit your needs. With week-to-week flexibility, you can also adjust your plan as needed based on your schedule. Green Chef also has so many great extras like breakfast, smoothies, and 5-minute salads. We love using Green Chef because it allows us to balance our desire to eat healthy, tasty food with our desire to be out and enjoying fall. With Green Chef, we can spend less time worrying about meal prep and more time living our lives. Make this fall your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50thetake and use code 50thetake to get 50% off your first month. Then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50thetake at greenchef.com/50thetake. Putting yourself first can sometimes be seen as putting yourself above others, but it can also go in a different direction. Sometimes it just means doing things that are difficult for you, but that you know in the end are for the best, regardless of anyone else. While Ava never liked school when she was in school,
That was my thing in college. Certainly wasn't academics. I hate school.
now, as an adult, especially after coming to enjoy Jacob's lessons on Black history, she realizes that she does enjoy learning. She even decides to go back to school to get the credentials she's supposed to have for her job. She doesn't have to do this. She's made it this far just on competence and vibes. But part of putting herself first is also not blocking herself from growth opportunities. She, of course, still does this in the most Ava way possible, telling everyone that she attended Harvard because she went to her online school using Harvard's free Wi-Fi. She'll never miss an opportunity to talk herself up.
I went to Harvard this summer. I sat right there on their campus and I used their free Wi-Fi to get my degree in education via Education Connection.
While Ava's attitude can certainly be a bit much for those around her at times, she and they eventually come to realize that her trying to force herself to fit into a more appropriate box is not better for anyone.
So it turns out the only thing worse than Ava being an awful principal is Ava being a good one.
Ava might not always be the best principal, but she does learn to better use her own strengths to help Abbott's students and teachers succeed. While she does seem, and often is, incredibly self-centered, like any queen bee, she actually has a very good idea of what's going on in her domain at all times. She does use this to meddle and cause chaos, but she also uses this insight to help at times as well. Like the fact that she keeps extra uniforms in her office to make sure that the kids always have something to wear, even if they're not able to get new clothes. As a queen bee, she has a bird's eye view of the social fabric and what really keeps it together. And she knows that if she wants to continue to be the queen of the realm has to keep going.
Wait a minute, are you on the side of labor?
Yeah, I hate bosses. That's why I became a principal, so I don't have any.
Ava and Janine are often framed as direct opposites.
Good morning, Abbott Elementary. Good morning, Abbott Elementary.
While Ava is always looking out for Ava, Janine is constantly trying to put everyone else above herself. While Janine's intentions are admirable, her mindset often leads to problems for herself and the people she's trying to help. Neither outlook is better than the other. It's actually the balance of their two mindsets that allows for the most success for Abbott. While Janine has been on her own journey of self-confidence, Ava has had her caring, helpful side shine through more and more. People often don't even necessarily realize that she is deliberately being helpful because she still frames everything she does in a very Ava way.
Next time I do something to help others, which I'm very good at, I'll make sure to give you the whole story so that you're not surprised.
So she doesn't always get the credit she's due. Though, over time, that has begun to change. After her stint at college via Harvard's Wi-Fi, Ava decided she was going in a different direction with her life. Old outlandish Ava was gone, and a new, serious, professional Ava would take her place.
One of the first things I learned when I was physically located within the legal property lines of Harvard is that teachers are required to stick to curriculum for student safety and school protection.
This is what everyone had been telling her she should do for the entire show. To stop messing around and focusing on herself, and instead really buckle down and be a proper principal as laid out by the guidelines. But in practice, this quickly makes everyone miserable.
Great news, everyone! There are no more free periods. Instead, everyone will be volunteering for lunch duty, hall monitoring, library management, etc. at all times.
Because guidelines and rules don't always match up to what actually works in real life. Ava has always been able to see that side of things clearly, and having her switch that part of herself off to become a by-the-book principal does not make anything better.
We need old Ava back. Well, she's dead and gone. I lead now. I communicate. I haven't listened to the City Girls in months.
Old Ava was of course confident in herself, but she was also confident that everyone else could handle themselves and do their jobs. So when she began ignoring that and focusing on only following the rules and getting in everyone's business, everything started to fall apart. But it also made everyone realize just how important her letting them do their own thing was. Thankfully, after a well-executed juvenile surprise dance party, old Ava returned. Ava shows how qualities that seem wholly negative can actually become major positives if you're willing to try. While the teachers might feel like she holds them back at times, she's also done a lot to keep the school afloat in the chaotic environment of an education system that doesn't value teachers, students, or education itself. In Season 4, she even took the blame for the golf course bribes and got fired as a result. This shows her growth, as the Ava we first met certainly wouldn't have been willing to take the fall for the greater good. The fallout also shows how much her community has come to cherish her, too. She still puts together a festival to help the school raise money, even though she was let go. And eventually, the entire community comes together to push the board to unsuspend the teachers and rehire Ava. Ava's story is still being written, and we can't wait to see how she continues to grow, without ever changing the core of who she is.
Jesus!
Y'all must have forgot I'm me.
Respect.
Impressive.
Respect.
Now, everyone is ready to enter a new school year together, with everyone able to use their own special qualities to work to make the school a better place. With Queen Bee Ava back at the helm where she belongs, of course.
Mr. Johnson, buy my ring light. I'm about to be on IG Live all day.
That's the take. Click here to watch the video we think you'll love, or here to check out a whole playlist of awesome content. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.